So I'll take a deep breath. Center ourselves.
much. If you're comfortable, stay standing. Join the hand of the person next to you. This is our community song, Surely the Presence.
Let us pray. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place because you are here, fully present, hearts open, ready to love, to connect, to grow, to evolve. And today, we honor the presence of those who are no longer with us. Today, as community, we honor the presence that both Patty and October have been to so many of us. We honor their light, their wisdom, their love, their grace, their talent. And we know that life is eternal in spirit, and their spirit flows in, through, and as us, just as God's spirit flows in, through, and as us. So today when we connect with each other, let us connect in love, remembering them, honoring them, sharing our favorite stories, sharing smiles, sharing tears, sharing the authentic expression of who we are as they were with us. And so it is, and so let it be. Amen and amen. You may be seated. Good morning. Welcome to Unity on the River. I am Reverend Ogun Holder, Senior Minister here. So honored to be with you this morning. Good to be back home after a week in Toronto for the Parliament of World Religions. I'll speak to that just a little bit later in my talk. But indeed, today our community we're in that bittersweet place of celebrating, honoring, mourning, grieving, loving the loss of two lights who has meant so much to many of us over the years. Some of you who are fairly new to this community might not know of Patty that well. Some of you may not know October that well, but you've known October from seeing her. She always sat there in her wheelchair, and those of you who've known them for years, decades, there are no words. There are no words. So today we are going to be fully present to our feelings. We're going to be fully present to other people's feelings. We're going to be patient with ourselves as we grieve and mourn. We're going to be patient with others as they grieve and mourn. We're going to remember that for some of us, this is huge. And for some of us, we may not be that connected to it. Wherever you are, it's okay. Don't pretend, be real. And remember that for some of us, this is also going to trigger the grief that we're feeling around the losses of other loved ones in our lives. This is the journey of grief that we're in. So today we grieve, but today we also celebrate and honor We honor who they were and the gift that they were to us. We celebrate that. And we started celebrating last night at our gala, which was a lot of fun for those of you who came. I know forever going to be seared in my mind is the image of Malik. Wait for it. Malik and Irene Tompkinson doing some kind of weird 70s shuffle on the dance floor for about 10 minutes. I kid you not. And when it first started, I was like, I hope dear Irene, who is, not a spring chicken anymore, isn't gonna collapse on the dance floor. But about halfway in, I was more worried about Malik.
She got me.
Yes, she did. She did. He started sweating and he was like panting. I was like, I don't know if Malik's gonna hold out. But none of last night's celebrations and fun that we had would not have been possible without all the people who worked to plan the event, who worked the night of the event, some board members, some bookstore people, Michael, but perhaps the person I think that, again, I honored her last night. I want to do it again. For those of you who didn't attend the gala last night, a lot of the thanks really needs to go to the person who happens to be also facilitating today. When I was like, who's facilitating today, Jean? I said, really? Because she was there really late last night. And she expended some energy on the dance floor, too. Thank you, Gina Janess.
Thank you. Well, yes, it was a night. And, I made the path, but y'all came onto it with me, and I really appreciated that. You just stepped in, and I really am grateful. So, good morning, and yes, I'm Gina Janest, and I'm facilitating this morning. I would like to first welcome our streamers, so give a little wave, please, because we live stream here. And I want to give a quick shout out to Carol Hayscamp, who was the facilitator of the gala last year. She's in Colorado. But thank you, because she kept helping me from there. All right, so we'd like to welcome anyone who's with us here today for the first time. Do we have anybody here this morning that's at Unity for the first time? Thank you. Raise your hands. Our ushers will bring you a flower. So they're giving you a packet, and in that is our information about our church and a flower. And that flower will give you 10% off in the bookstore this morning if you go through those doors after service. We bless you and thank you for coming. Please know we welcome all paths to God. Thank you for being with us today. So Unity on the River is a center of celebration, transformation, inspiration, spirit-centeredness, oneness, and joy. Please hold these truths in your heart as we say our mission statement together. We are a vibrant spiritual community that celebrates the presence in all and awakens humanity to its divinity. And our vision statement, centered in love, we joyously co-create a world of oneness, peace, and harmony. So I have some announcements this morning. First up, there are 3 classes today at noon. There's Unity Basics with Reverend Ogun in the wing room, and that is a class you need to become a board member. So a reminder, you would need to attend both classes, today's and next week's, so that you can be considered for being a member. And also, if you haven't signed up, you can still attend today. So feel free to do that today. Wednesday, November 21 at 5:30 is our annual Thanksgiving potluck and open mic night. Food, fellowship, entertainment. Please see Michael Mooney to see what is needed for potluck. We are also in need of turkeys for the dinner. All dishes should be fully cooked and ready to serve. If you're interested in performing in the open mic show, please stay after service today for the performance preview with Keith Bickford. And if you're not prepared yet, there is still another preview scheduled for next Sunday after service. All acts must be previewed before they happen. So we also have a need that evening for, it's a wonderful evening, Wednesday nights before Thanksgiving, of turkeys. And we're going to need 5 of them. So I'm wondering if anybody's willing to volunteer to bring a cooked turkey on that Wednesday night. Please see Michael Mooney. You want to stand up just to be sure? So see Michael. Can we get anybody yet to commit to turkeys that are cooked? 1, 2, 3. All right. All right. Check in with Michael today so we know we have it. We'll check in again. Cooked, not frozen. Cooked turkeys. All right. Thank you. And so I'm going out of order, so I don't know if the PowerPoint slides are keeping up with me. 5 Languages of Love with Carol Stringham next week in the Transformation Room. Pastoral outreach with, I don't know what this is, with Annie Houghton in the Peace Chapel. Carol's today, Sunday, 12 to 2. All right then. Last one. All right. On the 29th, coming up from 5 to 7 p.m. is I Don't Know What to Eat with Beth Gilmore. She will discuss and teach us about hows and whys around food and the upcoming holidays. Okay. All right, so now's the time in our service where we greet each other in namaste. Please take a moment to greet each other in love with either a handshake or a hug and say, I see you. I see you're magnificent.
I'm afraid in spite of the might of the power of love. And something inside is yearning and emerging, being born. And all that would stop me, and all that I know, and where I'm obliged with little to show. On a good day I remember, and I feel the whispers of heaven. On a good day I remember, and I feel the whispers of heaven and the power of love. I rejoice in the light and the might of the power of love. Something inside is yearning and emerging and will be born. 'Cause all that could stop me will suddenly show, where I won't be obliged when I need to let go. On a good day I remember and I feel the whispers of heaven. On a good day I remember and I feel the whispers of heaven and the power of love. Thank God for my boy. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it deeply.
Revo and I in tears, sobbing, helping each other. This is the truth. This is it, right here. I do love you guys. This community has been amazing. What a gift. Let us light the world, not with division. We have to be together. We've got to be a bridge. If we're not a bridge, we're done.
Amen. And
if we're not a bridge, we're not unity. This is ephemeral. This is real. Amen. Go light the world, okay?
So we might have gone off script a little bit. There was so much I wanted to talk about today. We've had a week. We've had midterms. There was a Parliament of World Religions. Today's Veterans Day. And I won't neglect this. I do want to take a moment to honor our veterans in the community who have served us in this country with distinction and honor. If there are any veterans in this community, if you don't mind just standing for a moment so we can take a moment to recognize you. And I know many of us have mixed feelings about war and conflict and army and the military-industrial complex and the flag and all that kind of stuff. I know many of us have mixed feelings about it. I got a lot of calls and emails and meetings when I announced at the community meeting 2 Sundays ago that we were going to, at the request of a veteran in our community, put a United States flag here in the building. And it's actually, if you've not seen it when you came in, I think it should be in hospitality right now. And many people were conflicted about that. Again, lots of calls, lots of emails. And I was going to talk a lot about that today, but I'm not going to save that for another time. But yes, thank you to our veterans. And no matter what we feel about wars and conflicts, we don't get to not honor these folks who, regardless of how they feel about war and conflict, said yes to a very important service in our world today. So I do want to thank the veterans who have served so that many of us don't have to. That's one of the things we forget. But today, given that there's so much to say, I'm probably not going to say a lot other than to remind us about what it means to be in loss. Rumi, poet Rumi, says this: sorrow prepares you for joy. It violently sweeps everything out of your house so that new joy can find space to enter. It shakes the yellow it shakes the yellow leaves from the bough of your heart. So that fresh green leaves can grow in their place. It pulls up the rotten roots so that new roots hidden beneath have room to grow. Whatever sorrow shakes from your heart, far better things will take their place.
Thank you. We love you.
Grief is painful. And sometimes when we hurt others around us. We've got to be mindful of our own pain, causing pain. We've got to be mindful that when others are in pain, sometimes we lose ourselves. We lash out. We let other people down. We lose control. Grief hurts. Loss hurts. Last night at the gala, someone said to me, I just spoke to October 2 weeks ago and she was fine. And she was. Those of us who know her well knows of her journey with MS, multiple sclerosis, and the slow decline that brings, and to have this sudden shift was a shock for many of us. For many of us who played and sang with Patty. How many are you musicians in the crowd? How many musicians? When you work with other musicians, you transcend so many things and you get to connect with people in ways that words don't describe. Musicians might be the people who speak the less to each other, but love each other the most. Because music a thing that transcends. Transcends. And then grief triggers all our griefs. We've all lost people. So as a community, we're all in that loss today. For some of us, our losses are fresh. For some of us, our losses have gone years and years in the past, but it doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? Because love is eternal. We never stop loving the people we loved. And that's okay. It's okay. So I don't really have anything else much to say other than this. Let the pain of the sorrow break you open. From Rumi again. I said, what about my eyes? He said, keep them on the road. I said, what about my passion? He said, keep it burning. I said, what about my heart? He said, tell me what you hold inside it. I said, pain and sorrow. And he said, stay with it. The wound is the place where the light enters you. And I like to add, the wound is also the place where the love comes out. So, in the pain of our grief and our sorrow, whether we knew these souls and they were everything to us, or today's our first day and we're not quite clear what's going on, are you somewhere in between on that spectrum? No matter where you are, really allow your hearts to open today and feel the pain and the loss of others who are feeling it deeply today. Hold a place in your heart for the people really, really close to the ones we lost today as well. Don't be afraid to cry unabashedly. Don't be afraid to laugh either. Because we all remember moments when Patty October may have made us laugh. Because October, especially for me, who I knew better, she had a wicked sense of humor that never, ever went away. And I loved her because she wielded it wisely. There's only one thing I want to share from my experience at the Parliament of World Religions, and I think it kind of sums up the invitation of where we go, how we stand, and what I know Patty in October would have wanted us to embrace. This is from Swami Chinnanan Saraswati. I butchered that name, but that's the best I can do. And I want you to imagine, I didn't get the chance to get a picture for the PowerPoint, but I want you to imagine the very definition of an Indian guru: wild, flowing, grain hair, short, thin, broken English accent, proclaiming to a room full of thousands with his arms upraised. Let's be lovey-lovey. Let's be juicy-juicy. Let's be huggy-huggy. Let's be at peace or be in pieces. So today, we might be in pieces because of our pain, but let that bring us peace. Because we have known these souls that we've lost, and they have loved us, and we love them, and they will be eternally with us and live on into and as us. Share some love today. Share some hugs today. I ain't quite figured out about the juicy part yet. We're just like, I'm gonna interpret that as be your authentic self. Let's just go with that to keep it safe today, okay? I'm still working on that. Still working on that. Stay with it. The wound is the place where the light enters you. It's the place where the love comes out. Let's take this into meditation. So I simply invite you to, if you're comfortable, close the eyes, sit comfortably, and just breathe. Don't try to feel anything different than what you're feeling or think anything different. Simply breathe. And follow that breath. Be open to what the breath brings you now. It may be tears, it may be smiles, it may be deep silence, whatever. Simply breathe. Be open to where the breath takes you. Know the truth that this too is God made visible. This too is God being felt in its purest form. We cry because we love. We mourn because we love. Indeed, love is all there is. So today, let us love. Let us love. So in addition to the family and loved ones of Patty Barkus and October Craig, we hold that intention of love, of wholeness, of peace for all these names in our prayer box. For all these names, these situations, these concerns of the heart that you have shared. We hold the intention that these individuals remember who they truly are. Fullness and the embodiment of God, of spirit, of love, of all that is. And we hold that they stay grounded in that. And should you hold that intention for anyone else in your life, I invite you to say their names out loud now. And so in doing, we see them being the light, and we invite ourselves to ask, how can we be the light with them? Let us remember to love. Love is all there is. And so it is.
The lyrics of this song came through Guru Arjan Dev Ji in 1498. And I have it today because it talks about leading us from the greatest of darknesses to the light into the eternal wisdom that we hold on to forever. I hope this is comforting for you too. Thanks so much, guys. I'm sorry. Thank you. Matgure namechukat gure name Satgure name Siri Guru Dev name Atgure namechukat gure name Satgure name Siri Guru Dev name Atgure namechukat Sadguru Name Siri Guru Name Adguru Name Chikad Guru Name Sadguru Name Siri Guru Name Hare Guru Siri Siri Guru Siri 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 So it is.
I'd like to take a moment to recognize the beautiful souls who volunteer as prayer chaplains here. Please rise if you are able. These wonderful people can meet with you for prayer or gratitude, or to simply sit in silence with you after service. They will hold your prayers and intentions in the strictest of confidence. Also, if you are in need, we have home and hospital prayer chaplains that can visit you or a loved one. Please see Reverend Annie Houghton or one of the hospital prayer chaplains. Are they? Annie's here? Nancy? Catherine? Thank you. Remember, you can also submit your prayer requests to the prayer box located in the back of the sanctuary. Unity on the River also has a dedicated phone line that takes prayer requests, and our prayer team will pray over your request. It will also be held in prayer by Silent Unity for 30 days. And now's the time in our service where we prepare our tithes and offerings. Let's hold them and breathe in our energy of abundance as we say our affirmation. Divine me, bless the Son, multiply, all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Couple of things. My Unity Basics class today, want to start it at 11:45. It was supposed to noon, so I want to get started a little bit early on that. 11:45 in the wing room. If you don't know where that is, there are signs there. Want to reiterate, this is a class just for general membership. If you want to become a member of our church, this is one of the 2 classes you have to take, and it's a 2-parter. This Sunday and next Sunday, you got to do both parts. If you hadn't signed up, that's fine. And if you just want to drop in because you are newer to the community and you want to find out more about the basics of Unity, its teachings, and about the spiritual community, you're welcome to take the class. You don't have to take it only because you want to become a member. The class is open to everyone. We had a pre-silent auction bid for something before the gala, and the winner of that was Bill Mullen. It was a piece of artwork by Lisa Palazzi. Is Bill here today, perchance? Bill Mullen. Anyways, if you know Bill, tell him you won, and come get his art and pay us for it. That's important. Also, today at noon, Reverend Annie is going to be doing a bit of an introductory workshop for the pastoral outreach ministry that we have here. It's not just about prayer chaplains who go to visit people in their homes. It's about us, helping people in when they have an acute need. Sometimes, people are hospitalized or something happens. They need meals. They need someone to maybe come help clean. There's a lot of aspects to it that you don't need a specific skill set for, other than your willingness to go love some people. So if you want to find out more about how you can get involved in that, please see Reverend Annie and you're going to be in the Peace, 12 o'clock in the Peace Chapel. So that's happening today as well. I think I got it all. Let's give some thanks for these gifts. And we're still collecting them. Awesome. So I invite you to take a moment, take a breath, go within, find a place of gratitude in your heart. And no matter how you shared a gift today, whether you gave here in the sanctuary, you're one of our live streamers who gave online from our website, you've mailed it in, you're having an automatic withdrawal made from your bank account, no matter how you choose to invest in your spiritual community, we are grateful. We're grateful that we stand in that principle of abundance, and in so doing, we give back a portion of these gifts to the local Amesbury community and those who do the good work here, to the wider Unity movement. And in so doing, we continue to be in that flow. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen and amen. Thank you, guys. One last thing I forgot to share. So those of you who are at the community meeting, If you remember, we had shared that there was a company that wanted to rent our empty units, all our empty units in one go, long term for about 10 years, and that agreement has fallen through, but kind of sort of for a good reason. This company was unable to provide financial and historical documentation to prove that they would be good tenants. And one of the things that the board of, not just Spirit on the River that handles that, but the board of Unity on the River, one of the things we got clear about is that we are not going to act from a place of lack and desperation. We're not going to sign on with a group that is not in integrity with itself, because then we're not in integrity with ourselves. And so it was a really tough decision to make, because when we look at our bottom line, we want to act from that place of fear and that place of lack and that place of, well, if we get them for at least 3 good years, that's 3 good years we got them. But no, we are being committed to being in financial integrity and practice abundance principles. So we are in this place where we got these units, we need some tenants, we need some renters, and we need all of you to be in that place of an abundance consciousness, which is not magical thinking, but abundance consciousness is that openness and that surety that there is more than enough. In God there is no lack, and therefore in us there is no lack. There's just flow. And sometimes that flow looks like a gentle stream. Sometimes it looks like the iceberg that struck the Titanic. Either way, it's all water. So let's not be in that place of fear. Let's be in that place of openness. Hold the intention. We all know people who own businesses who need space. So let's just be open to that flow. And can you join me in that? Absolutely. And let's see it being done. And I think, Gina, are you up next with some more thank yous? There you go.
It takes so many people who give of their time to help with Sunday service. Thank you to all that do sacred service. This week's angels, Jim, Joanne, Jane, and Monica. And our teams, the music team, the flower team, the meditation garden team, the building maintenance team, and the gala team. Thank you, board members. Board members, if you're here, would you please rise? Thank you. Board members are available after service to answer any questions you may have. Thank you also who make Wednesday night service happens. This week will be the Psalmody and the meditation service with Reverend Annie Houghton at 7 p.m. And now, Ain't No Mountain High.
Let's do it. There ain't no mom. And that is the truth, my friends. Ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby. Now if you need to call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far, don't worry, baby. Call my name, I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry, 'cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from heading to you, baby. Baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from heading to you, baby. Now if you need me, call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far, don't worry, baby. Call my name, I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry, 'cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river
Let's remain standing as we welcome our youth and family ministry in, walking as the light.
We are.
Namaste, I stand in the presence. So I had the delight again of working with the kids today, and what did we do? Besides letting them have their own joyous space, to just do a remarkable job of kind of being with each other and playing with each other and receiving each other. The part of the content we got into today was that how all things that are a whole have parts, including us. And part of that was sort of an introduction into just the simplest version of meditation, you know? Like, how do I have parts, and how does pausing for a moment and taking a few breaths make different parts of me come to the surface? So, thank you.
Thank you. Might have to have you come in and teach us that one Sunday. Just saying. Let us stand, take the hand of our neighbor, affirm the truth for ourselves. There is peace, and it begins with us. Let there be peace on earth.